So Bill Gates did an interview with Judy Woodruff is her name. I think that's her name, although I could be wrong about that. She's on PBS, and man, I don't know why he agreed to do this. Every time he talks publicly, he really makes a fool of himself. He spent years crafting this PR image as like, I'm the good philanthropic billionaire. I'm altruistic and humanitarian. And that all just blew up because it's bullshit. Virtually everything this guy does is a scam. He's big on protecting monopolies. He does this whole, like, we're going to send the COVID vaccines around the world. The reason he's doing that is because he's against lifting the patent protections for Big Pharma. So in other words, you could have every facility that can make the vaccines all around the world make the vaccines, and then way more people would get the vaccines. Bill Gates says, no, we don't allow that. Instead of allowing all the facilities to make the vaccines, we want to make sure the profits are protected for just Big Pharma. So we'll send the vaccines around the world. We'll do it through charity. Okay, but you're not going to get nearly as many vaccines as you need if you just do it through charity. You have to lift the patent protections. Bill Gates says no. He decides, I'm the global health minister, effectively, and the developing world, you're not going to get nearly enough vaccines. And I'll pretend like I'm the good guy because I'll do charity vaccines and send millions when really we could create billions if we just lifted the patent protections and reduced the profits for Big Pharma. Bill Gates says no to that. So he's a terrible person in every imaginable way. Here he is on PBS. He's asked a question about his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. Let's see how this goes.
It was reported at that time that you had a number of meetings with Jeffrey Epstein, who, when you met him 10 years ago, he was convicted of soliciting prostitution from minors. What did you know about him when you were meeting with him, as you've said yourself, in the hopes of raising money?
I had dinners with him. I regret doing that. He had relationships with people he said, would give to global health, which is a interest I have. Not nearly enough philanthropy goes in that direction. Those meetings were a mistake. They didn't result in what he purported, and I cut them off. That goes back a long time ago now. So there's nothing new on that.
It was reported that you continue to meet with him over several years, and that, in other words, a number of meetings. What did you do when you found out about his background?
Well, I've said I regretted having those dinners, and there's absolutely nothing new on that.
Is there a lesson for you, for anyone else looking at this?
Well, he's dead, so in general, you always have to be careful. I'm very proud of what we've done in philanthropy. Very proud of the work of the foundation. That's what I get up every day and focus on.
Guilty. Oh my God, that was tough to watch. I've never seen somebody squirming more than that. I've never seen somebody so uncomfortable and so unable to give a direct, straight answer to the questions. Probably the most chilling part was, well, he's dead. And in general, you always have to be careful. What? He's dead, and in general, you always have to be careful. What does that mean? What are you saying? By the way, his overall argument is total nonsense. He says, look, I needed to meet with Epstein effectively to connect with other important people. Who couldn't you reach on your own, Mr. Famous Billionaire? Who would reject a meeting with you in those elite circles? Who? The answer is none of them would. It's a total dodge. It's not convincing at all. And then he was asked directly, what did you do when you found out about his background? He basically was like, nothing. I'm very proud of my philanthropy. I didn't ask you about your fucking philanthropy. I didn't ask you about that. I said, what did you do when you found out about his background? What did you do when you found out about Epstein's background? Namely, pedo dude. Runs Billionaire Sex Crimes Incorporated. What did you do? You did nothing. By the way, this was a huge source of tension between Bill Gates and his wife. Bill Gates' wife said to him, I know what this guy is. You know what this guy is. You're meeting with him. That's not okay. What are you doing? What's wrong with you? And he kept meeting with him. And it wasn't just a couple dinners. No, he was buddy-buddy with him. Now, I don't know everything. I'm no genius. But if a billionaire continues to meet with the leader of Billionaire Sex Crimes Incorporated, I wonder what that billionaire is engaged in. Don't tell me there's not some sketchy stuff going on in elite circles, dog. Don't tell me that. Now, unlike Alex Jones, that doesn't mean that there are globalist gremlin people trying to drink the blood of children or whatever. He goes way too far with it. But are there elite circles of billionaires and basically the real, true leaders of the world, the people who really run the world, global capital? Are there weird cliques and clubs and groups among those people where they engage in some terrible stuff? Oh, you bet your ass. There absolutely is. And I'm sure a lot of them are into some terrible sex stuff, and that's why Epstein was offed. He knew where all the bodies were buried. He knew exactly what all the powerful people were doing because he provided them with the stuff they wanted. So maybe that's what Bill Gates, it's almost like a Freudian slip there. Well, he's dead, so in general, you always have to be careful. Careful of what? Spilling the beans on all the billionaires and the wealthy folks who he provided children with? Guilty, son. Guilty. Don't fall for the PR bullshit, because this is what they always do. There's always billionaires who basically buy positive press. And even philanthropy. It's a giant racket. You know, really, in many instances, it's just a tax avoidance scheme. I set up a foundation to do good work. No, you set up a foundation to launder your image and to get a giant tax break. That's what you did. And Bill Gates is a great example of that. Again, the vaccine thing is clear as day. He's fighting against lifting the patent protections for Big Pharma. So he doesn't want everybody to be able to make the vaccines. He only wants pharma to profit from it. And at the same time, he's doing charity vaccines, which isn't nearly enough. So it's safe to say that his PR image has been destroyed, and that's a good thing because clearly he did a lot of very fishy stuff. Hey y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.